In Paul Thomas Anderson's fourth film, Punch Drunk Love, the film opens with silence and then a crash. And on my second watch of this film, this moment seems very emblematic for the character of Barry. In the first act of this film, Barry is stressed. He's scared of women, he's terrified of his sisters, and he is just a ball of negative emotions.
Can you help me?
Barry, I'm a dentist.
Much like a car crash, Barry has no control of where he is going or what he is doing. So if Barry starts as a car crash, what does the piano symbolize? Or harmonium? Again, back to the beginning of this film, when Barry sees the harmonium, he doesn't even necessarily understand what it is fully, but he is fascinated by it nonetheless, and even carries it into his office to protect it. This can be seen as the same way Barry views love. At the beginning of this film, he calls a sex line because he is lonely, and doesn't even seem too interested in the call for the reasons one would think. The problem is, he is so terrified of someone seeing him for the car crash of rage that he sees himself as, that he isn't fully able to allow anyone into his life. When he first meets Lena, he's scared but still intrigued. He doesn't know what to do with his feelings, but he has them and wants to try to do something about them. This is the same way we see the harmonium. Barry keeps trying to tamper with it, hoping to learn something about how to play it, much like he wants to learn how to love someone. The composer of this film remarked that PTA was looking for a musical where no one breaks into song and dance, and you can definitely see that as his influence. Whether it's the color palette popping like a Gene Kelly picture, the whimsical nature of the romance, or the iconic Sandman dance. But what is more interesting is seeing this progression with this in mind. There is nothing musical about Barry in the first act, except a very subtle dance Barry does backpedaling once he's brought the harmonium into his life, also allowing him to accept love into his life. Barry is full of anger and anxiety, but suddenly he embraces Lena into his life and tells her the worst thoughts he has in his mind, and she completely matches that same level of rage.
Chew your face and I want to scoop out your eyes.
After this scene, we see Barry fully love someone. We see him dance like no one is watching in the pudding aisle. He conquers any fear he has.
I have a love in my life. It makes me stronger than anything you can imagine.
And what do we end this film with? Barry and Lena in love, playing beautiful music on the harmonium.
So here we go.
This video was made in collaboration with IndieTricks and the Video Essay Library, as we had a full group of essayists each give someone a pick for a romantic comedy film to discuss. I was recommended Punch Drunk Love by Pretentious Picks and gave Thomas Tom the 90s classic But I'm a Cheerleader. There's over a dozen of videos to check out, so if this sounds interesting to you, it will be linked at the end and in the description. Later, haters.